I saw your comments. You thought I was a real fool, being very pedantic, going after Watchtower for the silliest thing. Why is he going on for 5 minutes talking about this workout clothes situation? What you didn't know is I knew something that you didn't know. That just sounded really clunky to say. I had a trick up my sleeve, and that is in today's video, because some might say there are layers to the Jehovah's Witness workout clothes situation, and it's pretty crazy. So let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally, and today we're looking at more convention video drama things. I've decided to do a little bit different thing. Before, I've always just gone through step by step by step. I'm just going to be looking at some of the dramas, and then later down the road we can go over and look at and break down some of the talks that are given. So I think I'll do it in like the dramatization things, then the interviews, and then the talks. So maybe like 3 different little story arcs here, and we'll have a fully rounded idea about the convention. I just did it because I could kind of focus on things that were very specifically interesting and try to do it in their timeline, because there's always gaps when nothing very interesting is happening at the convention. So anyway, we're just trying to change it up a little bit. But quickly, before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like on the video. It helps it get out to more people on YouTube and is very much appreciated. It's really the best way that you can freely support the channel. Well, other than making sure you're subscribed to the channel. I have a goal of reaching 40, nay, I say even 45,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm going to do my part in trying to provide you guys the best content that I possibly can. So if you could just double check that you're subscribed to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. With all of that YouTube stuff out of the way, let's talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and working out.
I like to feel my best.
Okay, let's get you out of this chair.
For others, and for myself.
Nice work, Poppy.
Hey, thanks.
Some cardio, then we'll go to the service group?
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, hey, check out this sculpting routine for next week.
Hey girls, sculpt your body and drive men crazy with this high-intensity workout.
What?
She's certainly proud of her physique.
She's got millions of followers.
Yeah, I can see why.
She gets noticed. What's so wrong with a little attention?
Wow. Okay, so let's just jump right in here and rewind the clock a little bit. So I did see a lot of your guys' comments about, well, why is he yapping about the person in the workout clothes? Obviously, Watchtower's not going to show a very promiscuous looking image, because that was kind of backwards. And I think that is a very logical thing to ask. It's the first thing that I asked myself, and I recorded an entire section on it. And then I thought, you know, I'm not going to actually put that in the video. A, because I'm just curious what you guys would say about it. And B, there's this section coming out later, which just gives even more context to the situation. So you have a scene here where you're having people that are Jehovah's Witnesses and not Jehovah's Witnesses here working out in the gym. And in order to identify the Jehovah's Witness, they have to have layers on. So they have their regular, normal getup on, and then on top of that, and the message that I'm getting from this is it's better to be safe than sorry. If you're a Jehovah's Witness and you're going to the gym, you want to make sure that you're not going to have any jiggling bits that people might be able to see, anything. So just play it on the safe side and make sure you're extra covered up, which is just an absolute insane thing to try and demonstrate to people. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe they are just trying to do this so that way there is some, dividing line. Maybe I'm reading to it. Maybe I'm the crazy one. So let's go back to what the actual picture was showing. Someone that didn't have the extra bonus layer on top. If the argument is that, well, they don't want to show anything revealing, but that's the point. Why make the little skit if you're not going to make the point. And Watchtower, historically, has no problem in using media to make the point. Forever embedded in my brain is an old Watchtower cover. I don't even know how to say this on YouTube correctly, but the cover was depicting someone who appeared to be underaged, working in a adult industry of ill repute and dubious legality. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But they showed it right on the cover. When they show pictures of people who appear to be underaged holding weapons, they aren't afraid to show the thing. If you're going to show someone that's living a very wealthy, lavish lifestyle, you're not going to show someone in a mom van, because that would look absurd. That would just be, everyone would point and laugh at you, because it wouldn't make any sense. And that's what I'm getting at, is like, yes, I get, oh, well, we can't have, some dress up some Bethelite in a slutty outfit. Okay, but you can just use a stock asset from Getty Images to get the point across. Are they so sensitive about having a blurry image that might be even just remotely, just like anything, like just some shoulders, maybe a belly button? No one is going to lose their minds. And if they do, you have a bigger problem on your hands if you think millions of people are going to lose their minds. If they see a belly button, some cleavage, or some elbows, you have a bigger fish to fry in that instance. So my issue with it, and that's why I talked about it in the way that I did, is it feels so intentional. I see other options, and Watchtower historically hasn't been afraid to just show the thing to get the point across. And so choosing to do it in this way is exactly like what I said with the mom van. If you're trying to show someone with a lavish lifestyle and it's a mom van, it's going to look really dorky and people will end up just pointing and laughing at you. Anyway, there's my little rant about that. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm on the crack pipe here. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Anyway, about the rest of this.
Oh, hey, check out this sculpting routine for next week.
Hey girl, sculpt your body and drive men crazy with this high-intensity workout.
What?
She's certainly proud of her physique.
She's got millions of followers.
Yeah, I can see why.
She gets noticed. What's so wrong with a little attention?
This little dialogue tree is fascinating. She has millions of followers. Well, I can see why. Maybe because she has useful tips for people? Maybe because she has an engaging personality that inspires people? Maybe it gives them motivation? Maybe it helps them get out of bed, get off the couch, and get into the gym and have a routine that they're excited to do? Maybe she has a personality that people feel connected to. And yet, this negative Nancy over here is like, I can see why she has millions of subscribers. God, it just reminded me of how miserable it is to be a Jehovah's Witness. No one can be happy for anyone else. If you see someone succeeding, your insecurity overrides all rational thought, and you fold your arms and squint your nose and try and nitpick and find everything wrong with the thing. That's how Jehovah's Witnesses operate their daily lives, in this miserable cycle of being sad and trying to just point out things and be negative to everything all the time. I mean, you can see why you have millions of subscribers. I wish I did more sculpting of my body. Like, stop. Let people be. Let people be happy. It's so crazy that Watchtower is trying to infuse this idea because they're so scared that Jehovah's Witnesses are now becoming popular within the Jehovah's Witness sphere. Like we saw in the last one, becoming Jehovah's Witness viral. They're so scared of that. They're so scared of people getting attention, of people having a following. It makes them so nervous. And it just reminds me of what it was like to be a Jehovah's Witness. But the governing body are doing it. It's fascinating, isn't it? The governing body are seeing other people gravitate towards other Jehovah's Witnesses on social media, gain a following because they're popular, they're well liked, they give good tips, whatever the case is. And the governing body are doing the Jehovah's Witness shuffle. Well, you're really just pointing a lot of attention to yourself, and they really should just be watching more JW.org videos featuring me.
We've got our daily bread.
Ready to go?
And we're making ends meet. Alex. But a little extra would go a long way.
I don't know who made the choice. I can't find it. So stupid. Oh, rolling up in a mom. Why, yes, it would look absurd to roll up in a mom van in order to demonstrate how opulent of a lifestyle worldly people live. Come on, guys. You know that there's someone within wherever they filmed this, within that circumference. There's got to be someone close by with a Range Rover. Come on, just try a little bit harder. Get someone in there with a Benz truck, please. Because they're rolling up with the mom van. It's ridiculous. It looks so silly. Oh my word. Is that just completely crazy? And I like how they're making a big deal about the closing of the automatically closing doors, as if that's not a technology that's existed for like, I don't know, 30? Has that been around for 30 years? I feel like it's old. That technology is older than most of the people in the video. Anyway, man, we get a new character here. She is struggling to close a door. I think looks like maybe a single mom, and looking to make some extra money. We're about to find out how exactly she's going to go about doing that, but I had to take a second and just really absorb this. I don't think I've rewound a video from Watchtower this much and just laughed at it.
You like this one?
Yeah.
Work from home. Sell to your family and friends. We can work from home.
Yeah.
And with all the friends in the congregation, our family is huge. This kind of work was made for us, right, little man?
So this is a fascinating one because this is a very common occurrence within the Jehovah's Witness landscape. They have a instant trust. If someone is a Jehovah's Witness, they are considered your brother or your sister. Someone that you're supposed to love and trust and care about and take care of, going through a hard time, whatever the case is. Someone that you would just let in your home under any circumstances simply because they are a Jehovah's Witness. That level of trust is obviously good for business. So using that network of other Jehovah's Witnesses in order to further a business opportunity is very common within the organization. And Watchtower doesn't seem to like it very much because they're going to really put their foot down and make it clear that this is not something that they want happening. It is going to be a common theme where when you step back and look at the thing that the organization is telling people not to do, it's kind of the same thing that the organization does. It is a real do as I say, not as I do, or as I do moment. And we're about to get another example of that now.
Dinner's almost ready.
Great.
I'm just about done with the bookwork.
Did we cover everything?
Just barely. You know, I was thinking, that job that just came in, you said they wanted fast and offered to pay us in cash?
Yeah, but we'll work hard however they pay us.
What if we take the cash and consider it a side job? Not part of the business?
So keep it off the books?
Taxes took so much last year. Look, here's how much we'd save. Things wouldn't be so tight. Does the government even care about what small businesses pay?
That kind of money wouldn't mean much to them, but it would mean the world to us.
So this couple is reviewing some of their finances and wondering if, maybe they'll make funny with a little bit of the tax laws. And this is just fascinating because the organization has an interesting history about having some double standards when it comes to government requirements. I think one of the most outstanding examples of that was what happened in Mexico, where there were brothers that were going to prison because they were refusing to get compulsory military training. And the governing body told them that it would be totally fine, not a problem, if they were to bribe government officials in order to obtain a card saying that they had gotten their training or were exempt from it, and that wasn't going to be a big issue, even though that kind of goes against everything Jehovah's Witnesses stand for and believe in, even though at the exact same time in another country, Malawi, that it doesn't have the same property ownership. Jehovah's Witnesses don't have the same property ownership over there as they did in Mexico. They told those brothers and sisters that were undergoing horrible circumstances, many of them dying, being tortured. They told those brothers and sisters, sorry, you cannot obtain a political card. So there's a complete double standard, different types of advice. And I just find that amazing. Even in Chile, there was a situation for a long time where on September something or another, they had to display a national flag at any tax exempt building, or maybe it was all buildings, can't remember exactly, on a specific day. It was like their National Freedom Day. And there are pictures you can see of a flag, national flag, outside of a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses being displayed because they're trying to avoid a sub $100 fine. So in order to get around the fine, we can just bend the rules a little bit. So again, the organization is willing to bend the rules, twist the truth, kind of make funny with certain laws, willing to profit, perhaps. And yet Jehovah's Witnesses can't do that. The organization is able to seek all this attention, the governing body, with their JW broadcasting and all of the attention, and with the selfies and being recognized everywhere you go. But a regular Jehovah's Witness isn't able to do that. The organization is able to tap in to their network of Jehovah's Witnesses whenever they need to have a little fundraising. They can just come on JW Broadcasting and say, hey, we got these projects we're working on. Wouldn't it be great if we could up your donations? Donations go up, everyone's happy. All of those things are fine, but if an individual Jehovah's Witness wants to set up a business, and they might be using other Jehovah's Witnesses as their customers, no. Watchtower, you are so insecure, and we can all see it. And we are all pointing and laughing at you. So let's see how all of these various individuals go about tackling these challenges that Watchtower has presented.
Hey girls, sculpt your body and drive men crazy.
the exercise is good. But the way she talks and dresses. She's right. Drawing attention, being noticed for all the wrong reasons. Do I really want to fill my heart with these ideas? There's nothing wrong with being healthy. But I need to be more selective and stick to accounts that focus on fitness. A clean conscience is worth the effort.
So as it turns out, Watchtower is willing to show a leg that's not completely covered. They are willing to show a woman. It looks like she's wearing some type of sports bra top thing, but she's turned her back. They do have the capacity to show it. Again, begs the question why they chose the image before. Honestly, my true and honest thoughts on this are that someone at Bethel has had a real problem where they were looking up pictures of fitness influencers and maybe treating it as adult material to pleasure themselves with. I think that's what's actually happened here. Maybe some stories about that started circulating around Bethel, and this is Watchtower kind of responding to that. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's really just strange and baffling. Other than that, it is amazing, though. Watchtower is just going to keep driving this point home. You know, stop paying attention to the noise. Stop paying attention to anything outside of the organization. You know, sure, if it's just purely focused on fitness, that might be fine, but make sure, because you want to have a clean conscience. Like, she was getting fitness tips, workout tips, and now she's meant to have a guilty conscience? Jehovah's Witnesses sitting there watching this are going to think about that. Man, is that cooking show that I'm watching? Am I just attracted to their personality? I better actually delete that feed. I better unsubscribe to that channel and only go to Food Wishes and listen to Chef John, because he completely focuses on the recipe. Shout outs to anyone who likes Food Wishes. I just find it amazing, because this is just a desperate Hail Mary to isolate the Jehovah's Witnesses further in their own sphere. Keep them on JW Productions, keep them on JW Broadcasting, keeping them on the hamster wheel, trying their best in a more globalized world where everything feels connected to everything, and you just have like options and media around you 24/7. They're trying their best to put their finger in the dam, but the water's going to just burst through. It's not going to work. Young people growing up in this organization, teenagers, are going to just be laughing at all of this ridiculous nonsense. But let's go and see how our other characters are going to handle their struggles.
Let's see, how would this work?
It's a little expensive.
Sure, it's a splurge, but you're supporting your sister. Exciting new products. Come check them out at section A2 and sent. Using the congregation to push a business? That could cross a line. Jehovah wants us to be happy. And he will always make sure we have what we need without mixing our work with our worship.
Well, this is rich coming from an organization that openly exploits their people for free labor to help build movie studios that they don't need, to build kingdom halls that no one's attending just so they can relocate it and build a new one and sell the old one. This is crazy that an organization that uses free labor for promotional pieces about their charitable work, which they don't actually do anything. They don't actually do any charity. They use the free labor of individuals to support the Watchtower business, but anything Watchtower does is for worship. So there's nothing they can do wrong. What a fascinating little skit here. An ordinary Jehovah's Witness wants to just take advantage of one of the only good things about being a witness, a social network. You got people around you. You have community. Hey, I have this idea. I have this business. Maybe I can make it grow. Maybe make a little side scratch or make it my main income. Nope, can't do that anymore. Watchtower doesn't like it because they're jealous. They're jealous. You're encroaching on their turf. And if you're going to encroach on their turf, no, they're going to shut that down. They are the biggest fish in the pond, and they will do anything, they will say anything to make sure they remain that way. A really fascinating set of videos, to be honest. But now let's go see how the old tax evaders are going to handle their situation.
Babe, Jehovah doesn't expect us to be perfect, but he does expect us to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard to see others get ahead while we struggle.
I know. It's been tight. But we've always had what we've needed. I can't say what the government cares about. But we know who Jehovah cares for.
You're right. We'll report what the government asks us to report. Jehovah has always taken care of our needs.
He has. And what's most important is pleasing him and our relationship with him. If we're honest, we won't risk losing that.
We'll report what the government requires us to report. Are you sure about that, Watchtower? Again, another fascinating case of Watchtower will fight tooth and nail to not report things that a government official or organization might require them to report. They will fight, they will lobby, they will sue, they'll take things to court for years. They will do whatever it takes to avoid reporting something, especially something as, sensitive as the protection of children. They'll fight against that. They want to hold on to their right to not have to report instances of the non-protection of children. Very fascinating. You can even look at this in the context of the Norway case about them going to court, appealing this decision, saying, oh, no, we're not going to accept that. No, we're going to sue the Norwegian government because they're bullying us. We want our status back, and we want our kroners back. Really fascinating how Watchtower just lacks all self-awareness when putting these things together. But hey, there are some of the most interesting aspects of this entire convention by far.
I'm so happy we did this.
Me too.
And thanks again for your help with Mom.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm surprised she lets you out of her sight when you're in town.
I told her that cousin time was essential, even though that's not really a thing, is it? So, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you remember Dylan?
From school, yeah. Why?
Well, let's say, hypothetically, that I ran into him yesterday, and within seconds he was asking about you.
Oh no.
So, if I very literally gave him your number, you wouldn't be mad, right?
Poppy really can't catch a break out here in these streets. She's going through a little rough patch as a Jehovah's Witness. First off, she has to work out in her warm-up clothes. They're called warm-up clothes for a specific reason. Get your muscles and everything warm, and you take them off so you can continue. But no, as a Jehovah's Witness, you got to keep them on the whole time. because you wouldn't want to be drawing any attention to yourself. Then you got to actually go through and really analyze and think about what type of workout classes that you're going to take or be involved with, what kind of workout routine you're going to do. Because if the workout routine that you have scheduled, the little program that you have set, was even created by someone that is showing too much skin or drawing attention to themselves, then you can't follow that workout program. Baffling. And now she has to have a little bit of a coffee break with her cousin. And her cousin's trying to set her up, because now we get to find out that Poppy is single. And I wonder how this is going to go. But before we see the results of this, we have another character that we need to check in on that's going to have to face a very difficult decision.
We could put it back together in the next hour. That'd be great.
Aaron.
Hey, Mr. Shaw.
Great to see you. Can I get your help with something?
Sure.
Excellent. I'm glad I caught you.
What can I do for you?
So, we have city council elections coming up, and I have a proposition that could benefit the both of us. I'm gonna run for city councilor, and I want to feature your business, really you, in my election campaign. Now, we used your profile photo for a mock-up, but we'll have a photo shoot in a few
Come on, Poppy.
Oh, the humanity. What an awful situation to be in. He is going to be a featured business in a political campaign. Ugh. These Jehovah's Witnesses just can't catch a lucky breakout here. Don't they understand that Jehovah's Witnesses will never, under any circumstances, ever have anything to do with anything political ever? Except if it's the organization and they're lobbying for something or another. Then they're totally fine with it. But individual Jehovah's Witnesses, no, can't do it. Anyway, let's check back in on Poppy and see if her cousin can convince her to, I don't know, just dip her toe in the dating pool with this old friend.
He's a good guy. Just talk to him. Why not?
You went to meetings long enough to know why.
No, this is not a Jehovah's Witness thing. You don't have to marry him just because he texts you. This is just about, you know, being with someone.
Maisie, you know I live my life by Bible principles.
Listen, I'm being serious, okay? You've taken good care of yourself. But we're on the wrong side of 30, girl.
We do not see things the same way.
Don't you deserve to be happy?
You represent what's good about our community. And I want others to know that I'll have their back the same way that I've had yours. This type of exposure could do wonders for you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. But let me explain why I'll have to decline.
You're overthinking this. It's not about forever. You just don't need to spend the best years of your life alone.
Maisie, of course I want to find someone someday. But when I do, I want them to believe what I believe. That serving Jehovah's the most important thing in life.
It's just... you're gonna pass up every opportunity.
Thank you for caring about me, but really, I'm okay.
I give my complete support to God's kingdom. That's why I remain neutral when it comes to politics.
I just don't understand.
Well, I'd be happy to share more if you'd like. There's an article
No, that won't be necessary. I have to say, I'm really disappointed by all of this, especially after everything that I've done for you. I really hope you'll reconsider.
Thank you for respecting my beliefs. I can assure you that I won't.
I'm going to have to think about what this means for us going forward. Aaron, I hope we can get past this.
I don't get it. At all. But at the end of the day, I just want you to be happy.
I am happy, and I will be if I stick with Jehovah. That's what I want.
Okay. I can respect that. but you may need to block him.
I can't believe you gave him my number.
I'm sorry.
So her cousin has a genuine concern for her. Like, hey, I just want to make sure you're happy. You know, honestly, I am vaguely familiar with what Watchtower teaches and all that stuff, but it sounded like maybe she would have gone to meetings or something when she was younger. Doesn't obviously anymore. Even bringing up, oh, you're on the wrong side of 30, you know, you just have a little bit of fun. But no, Poppy is waiting for her Jehovah's Witness in shining armor to appear magically from the sky and take them on a wild adventure of doing free work for Watchtower until they're old and then dying in poverty. She's just going to wait for that. That's the prospect, by the way. Like, that's the reality. That is what this young woman is waiting for. Okay. Yep. All good. And then you have the other guy. He is resolute. He's not going to change his mind. He will never get involved in politics. It is so two-faced for the organization to be telling Jehovah's Witnesses to do that. And yet at the very same time, they'll do stuff like a letter-writing campaign to lobby Russia. They'll sue governments for certain rights. They'll insist upon them. They will get involved in politics if they have to. What an interesting set of videos that Watchtower has. Now, I will just be honest, the convention doesn't have a lot of the little skits. These were the only ones that I could find, so that pretty much sums it up for like their modern day skits for this entirety of the convention. I know I was a bit let down because that's my personal favorite part, but that's why I wanted to cover these initially. Like I said, next time we're going to jump in and take a look at some of the interviews that they do, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, that's about all I have to say for this section of the convention. With all of that, stay safe, be kind, and don't forget to spend more time loving the things you love than hating the things you hate. You better have a good-ass day.